I know we would like to, I would like to offer to Nate Diaz to fight me.
I'm ready to get back in real action. I want to fight either McGregor 3. I want to fight maybe Dustin Poirier if he's championship, and then maybe Mike Perry. We'll see what happens in the future, though.
It is Monday. There's a lot of breaking news. Let us get to the biggest breaking news of the day. 12 p.m. Eastern. Nathan Diaz versus Mike Perry at 170 pounds has been added to this card on May 16th. But all of a sudden, you're staring at a card where it's Ronda versus Gina, it's Francis returning to MMA, and it's Nate versus Mike. Whenever they do that press conference, that first face-off, it's going to be, it's going to be bananas.
So we got a banger of a fight here with Mike Perry and Nate Diaz. So we're going to break it down, talk about who we think is going to win. Now, starting out with Nate Diaz. On the ground, this man is just a complete monster. I mean, this guy, it doesn't matter what he has you in. He can put you in an arm bar, a triangle choke, rear naked choke. If he gets you on the ground and you're tired, or he has a better position on the ground, you are in real trouble. And Nate Diaz, for his entire career, was making people pay for that. So you got to think, if he's able to get Mike on the ground at any point in this fight, Mike is going to be in a lot of danger. And also, it's worth pointing out that Nate can still throw a little bit. We've seen time and time again, everyone knows the Leon Edwards fight where in the 5th round, he came back and almost got a knockout there. But other times throughout his UFC career and then also in his boxing career, he's really been able to do damage, not necessarily with power, but with a lot of volume and precision. And with this fight being in California, I do think that gives Nate an advantage. You can see whenever he fights in California, the crowd loves it, and I think it pumps him up.
How much did that fuel you?
Yo, I can feel the love out here in Cali every time. Baby, shout out to California. Come on, baby. You know what's up? It's all love.
Now, it's interesting with Mike Perry because he has not fought MMA in a couple years, but when he was in the MMA or even now when he's in bare knuckle, it's no secret that when he lands, he is dangerous. And not only with that overhand right is he dangerous, but if he can get you in the clinch, he can get pretty crafty with knees and elbows. So he definitely is a threat if he gets you on the feet and also if he senses danger. And obviously in bare knuckle, he's been doing a lot of damage to good fighters. Obviously those fighters were old, but he's really able to do damage when he lands. And I do want to call out, I mean, that Michael Venom Page fight, I think it was only the second fight of bare knuckle for Mike Perry, but he was really able to do a lot of damage on Michael Venom Page, and Page is not easy to get to. I mean, we've seen that in the UFC. Like, he's not an easy person to beat up, and while Mike Perry did take a lot of damage, he did also press forward and do a lot of damage to Michael Venom Page. So if he's able to do this in the fight, you know, step forward and really hurt Nate, then he definitely has a shot at winning this fight. Now, if I have to choose, I do have to say I'm going with Nate Diaz for a couple reasons. I think at the end of the day, it might just come down to cardio. Nate has had amazing cardio his entire career, and even if you look at a common opponent here in boxing, at least with Jake Paul, during Jake Paul's fight against Nate Diaz, Nate actually, it was only maybe the 4th or 5th round, but he really sensed that Jake was tired and started pressing forward. You can see here, he was actually doing a lot of damage with a lot of volume shots, not necessarily a lot of power, but you can see that Jake was really clinging on for dear life. And then on the other side, you can see in Mike Perry's boxing match against Jake Paul, it was just a different story. I mean, Mike was super tough. You can see he was getting hit left and right, and he kept either standing up or even if he got knocked down, he was popping back up. But I really think cardio became an issue here, and it's something that he hasn't necessarily had to run into in bare knuckle yet, but I think in an MMA fight where there's just going to be a lot more variables, there's probably going to run out of energy a little quicker, and I got to think that Nate Diaz is just going to be the fighter with more energy at the end of the fight and is probably going to get it done, I'd say in like the 4th or 5th round, either by submission or might even be able to do it like with a TKO. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. This is a new channel. And let me know down in the comments what you think about the fight and who you think is going to win. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.